After having my iPhone 11 for 5 years, I decided it was finally time for an upgrade. So I went out and got myself an iPhone 16 Pro recently, which is actually what's filming me right now. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, if you're anything like me, the first thing you got to do when you get a new phone is get a new case. So I jumped on the internet and started looking around for my options. Didn't take long before I found a case that offered a sliding plastic piece to go over the back cameras. I had seen this around for years when I would look for new cases for my iPhone 11 whenever they'd break, but it just looked kind of corny, kind of cheap, and didn't really look like something I wanted. But it did remind me of the whole security case idea. So I did a separate search for that, and I found the Spyfy case option, and it looked a little bit nicer, so I decided to give it a try. Luckily, it was during Black Friday, so I did not pay the full $60. To be fair, if it had been that price when I found it, I don't know if I would have gone for it just based off of the pictures and stuff. Now, after having it and experiencing it, I think it probably is worth that, especially if you do value covering the front camera. But we'll get to that. So I decided to give it a shot, and I was pleasantly surprised when it came in. Right off the top, the plastic felt a lot softer and more quality than I kind of felt the other case may have been. So the buttons are also separate, like they're inserted into the case. It makes them really easy to press and comfortable. I like that. It does have MagSafe, though I haven't tested it, but I've got no reason to believe that it wouldn't work. And here's the back. The back part, instead of a cheap sliding plastic piece, we have a nice stiffly hinged aluminum door for the camera, which is really nice. It's not going to give out and it's not flopping around or anything. It's going to be staying in where you want it to be. So it's open either as a kickstand sometimes to watch things, or when you open up, to take the picture, it's not going to be where you don't want it to be. A nice little detail is that they drilled a hole for the flashlight, so you don't have to flip it open to do that, which I find to be really nice. And of course, it's just big enough for the flashlight. It doesn't let you get anything even approaching a photograph out of it if you have the door closed, if you are worried about, certain entities accessing your camera. That hole isn't going to give them anything to work with at all. But it does give you something to work with your flashlight. So very nice. And then the key piece that I have not seen on anything else, which, by the way, if there's another case out there with a front camera cover, please let me know in the comments. I'd be very curious to check it out. But so here we go. So this front piece here, this is the part that makes the case, to me at least, unique, but also is the only thing that I really have to complain about. So when you pull it back to reveal the camera, so you can take a selfie or whatever, it clicks very strongly into place, and nothing's going to move it until you intentionally put it back. The issue being is that when you move it back to cover the camera, unfortunately, that click isn't quite as firm, at least not on my copy. And that leads it to being where you put it in your pocket and you take it out, and just the friction of pulling out of your pocket can, more often than not, completely reveal the camera. So that was a bit of a disappointment for me. If you're worried about ever having your front-facing camera revealed at all, then that's cause for pause on this one. You might be better off just taping over that front camera if you're that concerned. I do catch it most of the time now and just pop it with my finger. It's kind of habit at this point. But, if there was some way that they could make the front part click quite as hard as the back part does, I think would be pretty much perfect, really. But yeah, so that's just something. But realistically, when I don't even know of another case that offers a front cover, there's not a whole lot of other options. So overall, I still think this is a great case. Now, also, if you're looking for something that's going to be very protective from falls, this probably isn't it. It's pretty thin. It does have some interesting little honeycomb design on the inside, which might add to a little shock absorbing type of function. It will definitely protect, I would say, against, the usual type of stuff. I haven't dropped it yet, to be fair, but I think it will do a pretty good job in general. As good as any of the generic cases that I've ever gotten for my old phone, which did fine for my needs for 5 years. But if you need an outer box, it's definitely just turn it off now. This isn't for you. But if you need just basic protection for your phone physically, but a lot more protection for your cameras, then this is the move. Also, a nice little side effect of these covers is that your cameras stay a lot cleaner and can also be protected from scratches from keys and stuff like that in your pocket. So, little bonus on there, which realistically for people who really care about the camera might be reason enough to buy something like this in the first place. Spyfy offers cases all the way up from one iPhone 12 model to current. Now, some of them are different. Some of them have a slider that goes up and down, some that are across, a little more reminiscent of the case that I said I've seen before online other places. Not saying it's the same, just reminds me of it. And only the iPhone 16 Pro and the iPhone 15 Plus, seems to have the door type design, which I think is really nice. But either way, once again, privacy cases, pretty limited market as far as I'm aware. This is the best option that I've found for privacy case. And like I said, I think it feels like it's really quality. I expect that it will last me quite a long time. So that's it for now. Hope it's helped. Bye.